Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon, 1 p.m. Central Time. You can find us syndicated on television, channel 182 on Charter. You can also find us on Abundance Television syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcasters on the newscasters.com. All social media sites, you know how that goes. You can't get away from us if you even tried to. So continue watching. You can also find us, by the way, on a number of ways. We're working on a few things happening right here in South Carolina. I can't tell you about it yet, but it's going to be happening pretty soon. And also continue sending your emails. It thrills me. You're not bothering me. I had one of our listeners, watchers, said, I'm not trying to bother you, but I just wondered if you could do a cooking show on some kind of a cake or something. And I said, you're never bothering me. Never.
Right.
In
No.
10 million years, you can send me 10 million emails. That's not bothering me. It makes me feel so good when I hear from you. Absolutely. Got AP Steadham with me right now. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the only sports guy that's out there. And he's been with us for a number of years. And AP, I'm liking basketball now because of you. You remember the day I didn't like it.
I remember, yeah, when we first started having conversations, it was kind of new and it's new to everybody, Donna, I guess, because the SEC has really ascended through these last 4 or 5 years. And Donna, just to give people an idea, I remember, and I don't recall the year exactly when, and I'm using Alabama as an example because that's how I recall. I think they had a 12-4 record in the conference, 12 wins and only 4 losses, did not make the NCAA tournament because the league was not considered very good. Now they set this record with 14 in the NCAA tournament on the men's side, and that's a brand new record. Beat the Big East by 3 teams. It was 11 was the record a few years ago, the Big East Conference, which is noted for basketball. They don't have the football in the Big East. So here is the SEC, 14 teams. Then they moved to the Sweet 16, which is a measuring stick in the world of college basketball. 7 teams set another record. 7 out of the 16 teams in the men's bracket reached the Sweet 16. So this is the zenith of SEC basketball all time. So it's nice to watch your team play and be competitive, or if you like the SEC, have a team that you can watch. There's 7 of them still left, looking for at least one, minimum of one. You want to have one because it'd be a situation where you didn't consider it successful. If you have 14 teams in the tournament and not one of them made the Final Four. So they're pointing towards at least one, maybe 2. It could be more for all I know, Donna, but 7 teams, final 16, Sweet 16, and the SEC on the men's side.
Were there any surprises in basketball this year?
I
Maybe
think
some made it you didn't think would make it.
Right. You have a team like Missouri, Donna, did not win a game in basketball in the conference last year. 0 wins. I think that makes you, 0-18 or 0-16, whatever that number is they played during the year. Did not win a game in the conference. Here they are in the NCAA tournament. That's quite a leap. Unintended, right? We're talking about basketball. Quite a leap. So, yeah, that's a surprise.
So they were kind of the Vanderbilt of basketball.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned Vanderbilt there, Donna, right? Vanderbilt, yeah. So Vanderbilt made the tournament on the men's side and the women's side. The football team made a bowl game. So Vanderbilt's athletic director, Candace Story, who's from North Alabama, she's the athletic director, played basketball at Vanderbilt University. She was named by some as the best athletic director in the country this year. So, but that's all due to their teams reaching new heights. And it's all in the same year. So good for Vanderbilt and the Commodores. Anchor down.
Well, what happened with Vanderbilt? Because I'm just telling you, that we were almost laughing at them. I didn't laugh, but there were some people who just laughed at Vandy. And
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still people who whisper that, can we get Vanderbilt out of the SEC? They don't need to be here. Well, I wouldn't say that to Alabama. I wouldn't say that around Alabama. They beat Alabama in football, put 40 points on them. That's not luck. And like I said, their men's team and women's team, they've won the Baseball World Series. So Vanderbilt has money. How are you going to utilize the money? And Donna, you have to come up with this strategy of recruiting players. Vanderbilt is a private institution. It's noted for its academic. And I always say that begrudgingly because I thought every school was noted for academics, right? Now that's why they're
Not every
in
one of them.
resistance. And when they say this is an academic school, I'm thinking, well, what are the other ones? What are they? They're holding recess or something. I don't know. People make that comment. That's an academic. Well, hopefully every school is an academic school. But I guess they're saying that it's more prestigious in people's minds, and that's all perception because chemistry in one school is the same at the other school. You still have to learn those basics, right? But so you have to come up with a strategy because Vanderbilt, they're in the state of Tennessee, but you have Tennessee, University of Tennessee is a flagship university. So you have to scour the countryside, and what can attract people to Vanderbilt? You can say, hey, we have this degree that you receive at Vanderbilt, very prestigious in some people's mind. We have an alumni pipeline that can help you be successful beyond the sport that you're receiving the scholarship. So you have to come up with that strategy that works for that program. Basketball, you don't need a lot of people. It's not a man power or women power sport. You don't need very few individuals to be good in that sport. Football, that's a manpower sport. You need a lot of people. And for instance, Vanderbilt down in the game of football, you can become very good with your offense if you have a good tight end. That's the best mismatch on the field. You say, well, we got these fast wide receivers. Yes, we're trying to get fast wide receivers. But if we get a tight end 6'5", not many linebackers are 6'5". Safeties are definitely not 6'5" or cornerbacks. So that's a good matchup for you. You get a above average tight end, you can base your offense around the tight end, good offensive line, and a quarterback that's accurate with those throws in the intermediate area. And then you fill in the other positions the best you can. But to answer your question, it's recruiting, Donna. What is your recruiting strategy to get yourself better?
Another thing that you said several times, sometimes the kicker is the hero of the team.
If I'm on the sideline coaching, I want a kicker that can make it from 40 yards in 90-something% of the time, let's say, or maybe even up to 45 yards. After that, we're trying to get the kicker in better position to at least the 45-yard line. Can they make at least probably from the beyond 45, you're looking, I don't know, you're trying to get probably 70%, something like that. But from 45 yards in, I want that person to be in the 90th percentile making kicks. I feel confident. We move the football. All right, let's go field goal. We're going to call him. We want his nickname to be Automatic.
Absolutely. I mean, really, it's all components. So, and the crowd can really be the end of a success or an unsuccessful.
Yeah, I think that the crowd can helps teams in certain situations, but you have to be competitive in that scenario at the end where it's close and your crowd is yelling loudly and distracting the other team just for a split second. Maybe the kicker comes out there for the winning field goal and they're waving their hands and screaming and different things are happening. So you get into the mind of the kicker or the snapper or the holder. But yeah, the crowd helps it. Let's put it this way. If you ask me, do I want a crowd that's enthusiastic or sitting on their hands? I'm taking the enthusiastic crowd.
And I will say this for Alabama and South Carolina, enthusiastic crowds.
Yes.
And these people are all about football.
Yeah. South Carolina always have been loyal and have not had the best teams, but always very loyal and loud.
There's something to be said about that, about a crowd who's going to be for the team whether they win or lose. I know with Alabama and Auburn, I have friends on both sides, and they'll say, well, I'm just not going to be an Alabama fan no more. And I'm going, sure, you're not going to be an Alabama fan.
Right. Yeah, right. That's their team. What are you going to do? Watch Tiddlywinks somewhere? I mean, people make these comments, well, I'm not watching anymore. We're always mentioning the transfer portal and the NIL. What else are you going to do on a Saturday? I guess you can. I've seen some people walk away from going to the games and they say, well, I live without it, but very few are going to give up their team because they watched it since they were a child and they've had a lot of enjoyment. The roller coaster ride is part of being a fan of your team. You're not perfect every year. That doesn't happen. There's not a team in America that can say, we win all the time, every year, and for decades. And yeah, there's teams who won for a long periods of time, but everybody has a misstep along the way. You can discuss any college football program, and these are the blue bloods. I'm discussing the top 10 of all time. They've taken some dives.
Oh, yeah. Just about a little bit over a minute, we're going into a commercial break. Let's talk a little bit more about AP as we see it. I know that's a very successful show for you, and congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you, Don, and for all your help through the years and your assist. I really appreciate it. And AP as we see it, we try to have interesting guests. We're on the video now, the YouTube channel, AP as we see it, and then we're around 25 stations. You can check that out as well. And on Spotify, everything is archived as it's archived now on our YouTube channel. This week, Don, we have a college basketball analyst. Some people in North Alabama know Richard Hendricks. He's from Athens, Alabama, played at the University of Alabama. He's a college basketball analyst on some of the networks. So we're going to discuss some men's, and Richard does some women's basketball too, I believe. So we're going to talk men's and women's NCAA basketball relative to the SEC and the entire tournament as well.
You know what? In this audience right here on Donna's Edge television talk show, you have really gathered a lot of women who watch and listen to your show, because you're talking a lot about women's basketball, and that's meant a lot to us women out there. Thank you for your coverage.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, the SEC, Donna, they've been the dominant conference for probably 4 decades, I'm going to say, maybe even longer. But what happened, Donna, and maybe we can get into this in the next segment. I know we're running short here, but let's probably discuss that in the next segment. I'm not sure how much time you have left, but we'll touch on that, and I'll explain why.
Absolutely. Let's go into a commercial break. You did that just in time. So let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there, okay? We'll see you in just a second. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters, man. Time flies, and you're having fun and talking basketball with AP Steadham. Well, let's talk about women's sports. And by the way, us women appreciate the coverage, AP.
Hey, my pleasure, Donna. My pleasure, Donna. I've watched women's basketball. I tell people since Kim Mulkey, the current LSU coach, was in pigtails. I saw her play as a senior in high school in an all-star game. At a game that was Mount Kushner's in New York. And so I've been following women's basketball a long time. I saw the gold medal game in 1984 when Pat Summitt was the head coach of the women's team with Cheryl Miller, and Kim Mulkey was one of the point guards, and Cindy Noble out of Tennessee, and Teresa Edwards was 16 years old. She played in 4 Olympics, and she played great All-American and professional for the University of Georgia. So, but anyway, Donna, women's basketball and athletics in the SEC on the women's side, when they filed that legislated Title IX, what happened was the football programs, they were concerned if they didn't comply with this Title IX, that they would start fussing with their football money. So they said, we're going to comply with these programs. We're going to fund these programs for the women. So the SEC, they were on board and believers because of that football program. They didn't want anybody fooling with that money or their program. So they funded the athletics for the women. Of course, it started with the basketball, track and field. We know the SEC is great on the women's side as well. And softball came along. They've been had champions on that side as well. So that's how it all started for the SEC, Donna. Really was that legislation way back 1972, I think, Title IX passed, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And then so you had all these women were granted opportunities, and now they've blossomed through the years. Here they are competing for championships year in and year out for decades, Donna. For decades.
State of Alabama, too. I think you have more successful women's basketball teams than anywhere else. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, Alabama and Auburn. Auburn has been in the Final Four multiple times on the women's side. Alabama made it one time. I was at that event. Actually, it was in Richmond, Virginia, in 1994. But I just want to have a shout out. You're mentioning women's sports. I watched Alabama the other day in the game against Maryland that was played on campus at the University of Maryland, and Alabama was trying to reach the Sweet 16 for the very first time, I think, since '98, and they fell just short in a double overtime game. But we want to shout out to Sarah Ashley Barker. She scored 45 points down. She did everything she could for her team, and they just fell a few points short of the final score. But Sarah Ashley Barker, I mean, That's the most points ever in many categories. Let's put it that way. She set a record, but it was a phenomenal performance, one of the best individual performances I've seen in sports, and I've seen quite a few down. But it was something to behold, to watch her, and she was an interesting story. You know, she went to the University of Georgia. Her dad, Jay Barker, was an All-SEC quarterback and led Alabama to the championship in 1992, and he was a Heisman Trophy candidate, one of the top, I think, 3 in 1994. But he made All-SEC, and Sarah Ashley Barker transferred from Georgia, played there a couple of years, I believe, played at Alabama, I think, the last 3. She made herself an All-SEC performer the last 2 seasons. So it was fun to watch her develop over time, because she was, I don't think she was highly recruited, but to receive an SEC scholarship, you're definitely a top player. But she made herself into an all-conference player 2 years, not just 1, 2 years, and led her team to, I think they had 24, 25 wins this season, NCAA tournament berth this year and last year. So I just wanted to salute her because it was an extraordinary performance.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of men are supporters of women's sports. My husband, Phil, one of them. You know, his mother played basketball. She's 5'11".
Oh my gosh! Yeah, she's tall.
Oh,
Tall
yeah.
at that time.
So,
Yeah.
so he grew up with that.
I bet she's one of the taller players at that time. Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is back in the 1940s. And so anyway, yeah. So that's in his blood too.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. Now, as far as basketball is going, have you been to any events lately that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I just went to the Maxwell Award last week or so down. It was in Atlanta. It was a Philadelphia-based organization for 80 plus years. They moved to Atlanta the last 2 years, so they gave the best college player award, offense, defense, the best coach in college. They did that on the professional side as well, and then they had the National High School Player of the Year, and they had some regional awards because they're in the Philadelphia area. They give a best player award for that area, even though it's held in Atlanta now. So that was a fun event, and if you ever have a chance to attend, it's usually on a Friday evening, black tie affair, and it's a lot of fun. You'll meet some of the dignitaries in college football. They honored legends as well. So they had brought back some coaches, some former players, different things. So that's a lot of fun. But I will be next week, Donna, we'll be traveling to San Antonio for the men's Final Four. The women's Final Four is in Tampa. The men's will be in San Antonio. So like I said, we're looking for a minimum of 1 SEC team on the men's side. I'd love to see 2. I'd love to see 2 or more, but definitely have 1. But Donna, there is, if people are interested in basketball in the Southeast, Birmingham is one of the 2 regions for the women's basketball championship series. So I'll just go over this really quickly. It's four different what would you call sections? They say Birmingham 2, Birmingham 3, and they have Spokane 1 and Spokane 4. In the Birmingham 2, you have South Carolina, the top seed in that region, versus Maryland, the team that beat Alabama in double overtime. And you have in the Birmingham 3 a good matchup, Tennessee versus Texas, Donna. That's always a natural right when Tennessee plays Texas, because I think we all think of Davy Crockett going from Tennessee going down to support them at the Alamo. So that's the Tennessee contingent down in Texas, right? So we have Tennessee and Texas there in Birmingham, South Carolina, Maryland in Birmingham. Then we have in Spokane 1, we have Ole Miss versus UCLA. UCLA is a very good team, Donna. Very good team. Spokane 4, we have Oklahoma versus UConn. We all know UConn women, they have won double-digit championships for years. And we have also in the Spokane 1 region, Spokane, Washington region, LSU versus North Carolina State. So those are the teams from the SEC on the women's side down. I think that's 6 teams still left with a chance to win a national championship. Yeah.
I'm so excited about that. So many things are happening. Let's talk we've got a little bit under 5 minutes left in this segment. So let's talk football. Any new development? Most of your emails are about football. Any new developments as far as the lineup for this coming season?
Yeah, I think that, Donna, and it's always been the first question I'm asked, who will be the quarterback for so-and-so team? Mm-hmm. And this year, as you look at it, I think the team in the SEC, you're wondering who will be the quarterback. Probably the most discussion is about Alabama, because they had Jalen Milroe as a starter for a couple of years, but now they have 3 candidates. One, I'm going to mention Keelan Russell. He was that high school player I told you was honored at the Maxwell Award. He came out of Duncanville, Texas. So he arrived in January. He's already competing for the position. You have Austin Mack from the West Coast. He's from California. He was at the University of Washington, and he transferred to Alabama when Kalen DeBoer was named head coach. Big quarterback, 6'5", about 230. Keelan Russell is about 6'4", but he's slender. He's slender at this point, probably, I don't know, 200, 210, something like that. Then you have the veteran, Ty Simpson's been there, at least 3 years or so. His dad is the head football coach, Tennessee Martin. So Ty Simpson is I would say he's got a good chance because he's been there quite a few years. But when you have a new coaching staff that came in last year, I don't think they're beholden to anyone, really. Maybe the freshmen because they recruited that freshman quarterback, and then Austin Mack transferred specifically with that coaching staff. So, but that is one of the most interesting quarterback competitions, not only in the SEC but across the country. There's several that will be going on nationally. It's Notre Dame, big quarterback battle. Michigan, big quarterback battle. Ohio State. But in the SEC, it's really Alabama. Georgia has Gunnar Stockton. He replaced Carson Beck, who transferred to Miami. So, but in the SEC, I think that's the biggest battle for the quarterback position is Alabama. So that's you're going to be hearing that until the whistle blows in the very first game done. You're going to be hearing who is going to start, who will Kalen DeBoer select. And I'm not sure if he's the type of coach that will make an announcement before the preseason practice in August, or is he going to go right up to the start of the game? Most coaches nowadays, Donna, more than likely they're right up to the start of the game. They don't even tell you. You'll see somebody trotting on the field, and you say, that's who he selected.
It's that one.
Yeah. So, but Donna, I just want to mention one other thing about on the men's side, the men's basketball still have 7 teams. As I said, Alabama plays BYU. This is in the East, New Jersey. You have Florida playing Maryland. That's in the West. That's San Francisco. And also Texas Tech plays Arkansas. That's in the West. Houston plays Purdue. That's the Midwest. Tennessee plays Kentucky. Huge matchup, right, Donna? Huge matchup. Here it is in the NCAA tournament. Huge, and that's in the Midwest. That's Indianapolis, which is close by to Kentucky and Tennessee people. In the South, in Atlanta, Donna, you have Auburn playing Michigan. Then you have Michigan State playing Ole Miss. So it's going to be the Southeast and the state of Michigan in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Auburn got a good draw because their fans can see them play right up the road in Atlanta. And Ole Miss fans come over to Atlanta as well. So you could see an Auburn Ole Miss Regional 8 final, which would guarantee an SEC team, right? But there's 7 teams left, and they all have a possibility to make the Final Four.
I think it'll be a success. I really do. I think you're going to see at least 2.
Yeah, I think that's a good possibility. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We're going to have to call it a day. AP, thank you so much for being with us as always. Oh, by the way, AP, as we see it, who's going to be your next guest? Do you have that person lined up yet?
Oh, yeah. Richard Hendricks, played at the University of Alabama, but professionally he's a college basketball analyst on a few of the networks. So we're going to have Richard Hendricks from Athens, Alabama.
There you go. Again, guys, thank you so much. And thank you, AP, always for being with us. You're part of the show here. We always look forward to that. Continue sending emails to for AP, if you'd like. Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. And again, you're not bothering me. Continue sending the emails. They absolutely make my day. You can find us on television, syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. AP is on the Newscasters as well. AP's all over the place just like we are. But again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.